So for anybody who has a Tyger roll-up tonneau cover, you may be wondering, after some time, these Velcro strips here wear out and no longer hold down the cover, especially when you're driving on the highway. I've replaced this one since. I had to jack it up a little bit in my investigation of how to take this off and replace it. I bought the strips from Tyger. Shipping was really fast, maybe just a couple days. It was pretty inexpensive. I think it was 10 or 15 bucks for both of them. Here's the old one. You can see there's just nothing to latch onto anymore from just a few years. I think it's probably 3 years since I put this cover on. So 3 years of UV damage. So what you need to do, you may be wondering how to replace it. When they give you the strip, it's actually just this Velcro part. In here, there's a little plastic core. So what we're gonna have to do is slide the whole core out of this channel here, and then the Velcro will slide away from the plastic core. It's really not intuitive how to get this out. Initially, I tried to pry this out and kind of messed up the other side. But what you need to do is loosen all your brackets that are connecting you to the rail here. Once those are out, you can just pop them out from this channel here and leave them hanging so you know where they go back. And then underneath this cap here on the back of your bed, there's gonna be an adhesive. And you're gonna pull that adhesive out, and there's gonna be a little set screw in here. Tiny little screw. Let me see if I can find it for you in there. Up in there, right there. So you're gonna take that screw out, and once that screw's out, you'll be able to pop out this cap here. All right, I'll be back with you in a second. All right, so we went ahead and popped off this cap here. It's just that one set screw underneath the adhesive here. So I can show you right there. That pops off, and then once you have that cap off, you'll be able to slide this core out. They give you a little plastic, a little Velcro strap that you can attach to it to yoink it, but obviously if you're replacing it, nothing's gonna stick to this. So what you kind of have to do is just grab, I just use some needle nose, you'll dig under there, you're gonna yoink this out. Takes a little bit of pressure, but as long as you keep it nice and straight, it should come out okay. You will have some debris probably just from the several years of having this on your truck that kind of keep it from sliding easily. So go ahead and stick around and I'll show you how it comes out. So I was having some trouble here. I was trying to pick at this and pull it out, and I noticed I was still attached down here where some of the Velcro is still good. So make sure you peel this all the way back to free up the entire Velcro strip. So now that's done. It's hard to do this with one hand, but you're just gonna dig under there and you should be able to start pulling that guy out. So I'm gonna pull out this whole core. Switch to my hand now. All right, cool. See all that dirt coming out. So the other thing with this, I guess from the factory, they actually stitch in the Velcro into the plastic. So you won't be able to just slide this out. It's a sleeve. It's a sleeve over this plastic core right here. So you won't be able to just slide it out. So you're gonna have to just cut around the stitches. What I did was just took a blade and just sliced all the way around it. And then I was able to slide out the old Velcro. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I've cut off both ends here, just slicing in front of this seam here. I guess if you were doing this several times throughout the years, you may have a bit of an issue where if you don't take this off, it'll get too thick and it will no longer slide through the channel of the rail. But for just this one, it's my first time replacing it. I didn't have any issue just putting over the new Velcro sleeve right on top of this. So if you're doing it for the third or fourth time, you may want to start picking at these stitches and get all the way down to just the bare plastic. But this is just going to pull right out of that plastic, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, here's the replacement. It does have one factory end that's sealed and stitched up here. So you're also going to come to the other side where you can get to the opening. And just like work it flat so the Velcro part is kind of flat down like this instead of bent from the shipping process. And then you're just going to take that and slide it into your channel, pull it all the way through. That's what that looks like. So I fed it through maybe halfway. You start to get to a point where it gets pretty tough. So that's when it's helpful to just take the loose end here and start flattening it so it slides in easier, because it's bent the wrong way from the factory. So just take your hands and open it up so it can slide through that channel easily. One other word of caution when you're pushing it through, like I said, try to make sure it's as straight as possible so the feed is easy. This plastic is pretty brittle. If you bend it too much one way, you may snap it. I'm sure you could still make it work just by feeding in the 2 pieces instead of the 1, but just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. And once you do get this through, on the last one I had a couple of inches left, so I had to just trim off the couple of extra inches that hung over the side. As you can see inside the channel here of the rail, it's quite dirty, so I would just blow that out to make it as easy as possible to slide it in. All right, here it is starting to go back into the channel. If possible, you're going to want to feed in the factory end first, the sealed end that has the stitches. Once you start feeding it, it's pretty tough. So you get this extra strip here, which you just slap on. This gives you some extra leverage. And then you're going to grab the open end and start pulling it. It's helpful to have somebody there to feed it, or just as you get more tension, walk it back. Make sure you're still nice and straight over here. I'm just going to pull that all the way down. Once it's set into position, you're going to go ahead and put in that set screw before you tighten your rails back down. All right, there she is, all slid in. That Velcro strap they give you actually really helps pulling it through. Have the set screw with the cap back on, just twisting that back on. And then you're going to align the rails back on your truck and tighten down those brackets, and you're good to go. So these brackets just pop back into place. If you can't get them in, just loosen them up a little bit before you try to slide them back in. 10mm bolt. Tie them all down, not too tight, or else you start bending it a little bit, but it starts rotating on you. But cinch them down, work through all 3 of them, make sure it's nice and even tightness. Got a little bit of blood there. Wouldn't be any work in the garage without a little bit of blood, huh? All right, well, I hope you guys all found this helpful. I know it took me some time. I actually, like I said, screwed up the other side, the plastic core, a little bit before finding out there was a set screw. It'd be nice if they told you that in the instructions, which they do not do. All right, see you all later.